Hi folks, I'm Chris LaFave. I'm the curator of the Vonnegut Museum. I was here on opening day in 2011 when we founded the original Vonnegut Museum, and I continue to serve the organization to this day. And I'm here to talk about one of my favorite band books, Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. Well, that's a loaded question. I have read this book probably north of 50 times at this juncture. The first time, I believe, took place in my teenage years. My dad had an interesting habit of kind of finding books that he thought my brother and I, who were big readers, would be into. I am fully confident that this book went entirely over my head when I read it when I was 13 or so. And to this day, it sort of continues to. There's so much in it. And Vonnegut calls the book a failure twice in the first 20 or 30 pages of the novel. So I think he had some cognizance of the fact that I'm even going to read the part where he says, "It is so short and jumbled and jangled, Sam, because there is nothing intelligent to say about a massacre." The book, of course, is highly intelligent, but there are definitely moments where you wonder what's happening. Man, describing the plot is, I think that was the warning that Vonnegut wrote about the beginning of the novel, is that he says the book doesn't really have a beginning, middle, and end. It's just chaotic in nature. And he did something on his daughter's wall that involved kind of drawing the different plot points of the novel, and they all met up at the Elbe River at the end of the book with the birds tweeting. And that's how he plotted it out. But it does jump around a lot from different time periods, as the Tralfamadorians would say. It's important to read Slaughterhouse-Five, I think, because we only have so many books that are this nakedly confusing about traumatic situations. We only have so many books that focus on those really interesting moments in life where you wonder if you have any power over your circumstances, and how powerless human beings can feel in that circumstance. And it's frightening, it's the unknown. Vonnegut was capable about being funny about the subjects that are frightening and delve into the unknown. I personally find that very comforting. I think a lot of Vonnegut fans do. I don't know that he created a lot of fair weather fans, because I think there are people who don't find that comforting. The jokes about the fear and the unknown only make the situation worse for people like that. But for people that can appreciate humor in that realm, this is a phenomenal book to explore. It's funny, it's historically accurate. This is the most fictional work of absolute nonfiction you'll probably ever get your hands on. It's so funny and it's so sad, and it touches upon something very human in our experience as people. I say you just soak up everything that you can get your hands on. I mean, there's a John Green quote. I'm going to butcher it because I don't know it perfectly, but he's another Indiana author, and his books have been challenged. And he said something about how books are something that gives you time for quiet in a world that no longer makes space for that. So in our world of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and we're constantly online, we're constantly inundated with information, and the book is like, it's a place where you can disappear for a little bit. You know, it's fundamentally an antisocial activity. Antisocial makes it sound bad, but I think you understand what I mean. You can disappear into someone else's mind. Vonnegut called that meditation. It's a form of meditation to go into someone else's mind. Sometimes in a book you will find something beautiful. Sometimes in a book you'll find something sad. Sometimes you read a book that you think was freaking terrible, and that's going to happen. Usually when I get a hold of a book I don't like, I try like hell to finish it. I've met many people who put it down after a while. Books are a journey that you get to take yourself. It's not for someone else to tell you that you can't take that journey. And You get to make up your own mind as to how you feel about books, art, music, whatever you get your hands on. And the most amazing thing is that your perspective can change. You can read a book when you're young, not like it, and then come back to it later on, think it's not very good. The vice versa can happen. You can read a book when you're young, like it, and then read it later in life and decide you didn't like it very much, or that something in the book changed and is related to your personal experience. So books are magnificent in that regard. They're amazing. I have read this book north of 50 times. I'm still finding things I didn't notice in it. That's shocking. So books are an amazing resource. I would never want to take books away from anybody. And, art is so mandatory to me. It's so important that everybody gets their book and gets to make up their own mind about it.